Chris, just a pretty dramatic way to end that. Just, I mean, what did you see, Karl getting those chances to knock down those free throws in a clutch moment coming back here?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously one of the beauties of Cat. You give him the ball a lot of different places on the floor and high leverage situations, and he's going to always get a clean look or put a lot of pressure on to get the foul. But, I thought obviously, our defense came alive at the right time. We had, I think, a 19-4 run or something like that in the fourth to flip it with a pretty unorthodox lineup, but we never really played before. Those guys just, I said, proud of the guys just we worked through these new rotations and everything. Everybody was kind of just trying to make it work, and I think that was key. And felt, Kyle was like a primary handler out there at the point and really looked good.
The too big thing has not always been good for you guys this year, but what do you think allowed it to work tonight with Naz and with Rudy or with Cat in the way that, you're able to kind of scratch back into it with Naz and Rudy, I think, on the floor there?
Naz was spectacular. He really was. I mean, he played offensively, like he just, he didn't try to change how he played. I think that was key. Defensively, it was really good. He got his hands on a bunch of stuff. Guarded well. Listen, like, he's one of our best players. He's been one of our better players all year. Like, we got to find a way to make the too big lineup work. It has to be part of who we are. In these last 8 games, we have the flexibility to go a lot of different directions. But when a guy's playing this well and, deserves to be out there in some form or fashion, so it's my job to figure that out. But guys, thought they played well. They played physical down there and put a lot of pressure on, on the rim. So.
And then just overall for Cat's night overall, plus 13, just how did you see him work his way back into it, and what kind of advantages did he give you guys?
Yeah, so he had the hot start. That was great to see. He came out, looked like he was in the rhythm that he's always loved to play in. Still a few spacing things we got to work through. I think that can help him take better advantage of some situations out there. I thought he was aggressive, and again, it gives us another dimension of throwing the ball in the post. I think as the game wore on, kind of the rhythm a little bit got disjointed, but we'll work that out. So I'm pretty confident.
Chris, we're looking at the Rudy and Cat, the too big thing from the beginning of the season to how this team has matured over the course of the year.
Yeah.
Mike is a new variable in the Rudy and Cat out there together. How did you feel he fit into that tonight, and what can he mean to making that work consistently with two bigs on the floor next time?
Yeah, I think he's the perfect piece in my estimation. He really is. Like, he can make all the big plays, he can run the offense, he can get the ball to the guys where and when they need. He's going to make big shots. I thought he and Kyle too, like those guys, the two bigs with Rudy and Cat, other than a couple spacing issues, like, I'm not worried about the functionality of it. It's literally the guards that have to kind of retool themselves a little bit, for a little while there. Like, we can't play long stretches with Kyle not touching the ball just because he's running to the wing, and if that's the case, we got to find better rotations for him. And, then obviously tonight he played point guard with that lineup for a long, long time. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be fine. There's going to be defensive things we have to continue to work through. I think everybody trusts it now. Maybe in the beginning of the season it was, everyone was a little worried about where they would get their shots from. But at this point in time, we can't worry about that regardless of whether it's working at a high level or not. So.
Jaden gave Young a lot of problems all night, but there were times when Nikhil was on the court and you went with him instead of Jaden. Was that because Jaden was doing so much offensively you wanted to give him a little break? Or?
Well, I was literally trying to buy as much time as I could without putting him in foul trouble. It's just, and he did a really good job. Some of the fouls he got, they were the modern day fouls that, we all kind of complain about, but he did a really good job of, upping the pressure on Young down the stretch. So.
You talked about Naz still kind of not changing the way he plays. Is that the key to making this work with him at the 4, is just playing the way he would if he was at the 5?
Yes. Yeah. And just, keep, don't run to the corner. Don't just be a 2 guard. You put yourself in actions, be that dynamic roller that you still are. Even if Rudy's in there, you can still mix in some rolls. We had a couple big-to-big plays tonight. We haven't seen that for a little while. So, And one of Naz's benefits early in the season when he was playing really well, when we were playing him as a 4, or he was moving the ball side to side for us, kind of being a catalyst for our offense. So
I don't think some of these people, Naz can just initiate a screen roll whenever he wants.
100%, you can just bring it and kind of create it on the fly, yeah.
With that lineup that was playing so well in the fourth quarter, was there ever any thought to just letting them ride it out?
I mean, there was, yeah, for sure. I mean, I went to put Cat up. Naz had hit a couple buckets, and then we just rolled with it. But then it looked like I got tired. So I was like, okay, let's get a couple fresh bodies, somebody who can make a tough shot here. Kyle was, that lineup probably needed another handler. They did a good job in defense and in transition and finding each other. But ideally, Kyle's out there with another handler. He's really good. I thought we just needed another handler in there. So,
was there ever any doubt that you were going to put the ball in Karl's hands in that last possession?
Not really, no. I mean,
what was kind of the mood in the huddle when?
Well, I think it was fine. I don't think it was fine. Yeah. So.
Chris, Jaden has had 14 points in, I believe, 6 straight games, and has had 18 now in 7 of 10. Just how important is his offense in not only in unlocking, more scoring for your team, but also for, just unlocking the way that he can take pressure off of other guys and get other guys involved when he's driving too.
Yeah, it's huge. He's carried us through this stretch here. He's playing at a high level. Anthony just said to him in the locker room that it's important that those guys, him and Naz, keep playing this way. We can't just start to defer. He still got to stay aggressive. We can't allow people to hide on anybody right now. I think, Jaden's been spectacular, just like Naz has been, So, yeah, I think once these guys experience this type of usage and ability and they show it to themselves and others, it's hard for them to just go back and stand in the corner, and we don't want that either.